CCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. Good morning to you, 9:45, a quarter away from 10 o'clock. On this December morning, December 11th, it is a Thursday. It is time for our monthly segment with the Alice Paul House, and Whitney Carmichaels is here this morning, along with Kayla Marshall from the Alice Paul House, and we've got a number of different things that we want to talk about this morning. Our visit is presented by Marcus & Mack, voted the best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 4 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. You can visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to have you both with us. Kayla, come a little bit closer to that microphone, if you would. All right, there we go. We have a couple of things that you folks want to talk about, but I wanted to start with this one. In December, we often hear of domestic violence within the home, and holidays have stresses with them. Kids come home for a while, and families are still out working and doing all kinds of different things. And for some reason, it can become a very, very difficult situation within some families. And Alice Paul House, I figure, is the best person or the best group to ask about domestic violence, particularly around the holidays, and the care that needs to be taken to be sure that that doesn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with the holidays, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. Like, it's a stressful time. Families want to be together. They want to have a good time, but it also involves financial burdens. And then comes along domestic violence that we see. And that's why we're here to be there with the families. But it is a stressful time. And we see the ebb and flow throughout the holiday of the people that come to our office for services.
Yeah, it's interesting that I hadn't even considered that finances could be a big part of this.
Very much so. And I think another thing that plays into it that we have to be mindful of is children they're on holiday breaks.
Yeah.
So they're spending a little bit more time, and that time should be, joyous, and they're looking forward to things. But whenever domestic violence is in the home, they never know what they're going to get the next morning whenever they wake up. So we have to make sure that even though, they can call us 24/7, 365, we also have our website, and it has a confidential contact button too. Sometimes it's easier for someone to send a quick message for help versus picking up the phone when there's so many people around during the holidays.
Sure. Yeah, that's a great point as well, Kayla. All right. So I just wanted to get into that and make sure people know that there's always somebody willing to take your call, and that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at the Alice Paul House.
Yeah, and I think we talk about it every time we come here, but not only is there a person at our building 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, but one of our staff members is on call. So we have staff that we can call out to meet those individuals at hospitals and police stations. Even throughout the holidays, we leave our own families to make sure that their families are also safe.
Yeah. Boy, we want these holidays to be happy and perfect and everything. Sometimes they just don't work out that way. All right, so you had a couple of things that you wanted to bring forward as well. And Kayla, you mentioned one of those things.
So one of the biggest things that we like to highlight is our trauma-informed counseling and how it's different than a medical model therapy. So our form of counseling, it focuses on what happened to you versus, your standard, what's wrong with you or what's going on. So we sit down with survivors and we have to build trust. Trust is the first thing. Trust makes them feel safe. And then from there, we focus on the victimization, both past and present, and they're in charge. They tell us what they need, and through the counseling techniques that we use, we help them establish their plan to move forward, whether that's independence, safety as far as like a protection order, but it's really them leading the bus that they're driving to their future.
And that's a great approach, isn't it?
It is, and it works wonders. It does. I just said to Whitney in the car on the way over here, we were talking a little bit yesterday, and we serviced over 200 individuals in person just in November.
Wow.
Yes, so our numbers are very, very high, but that just tells us we're doing something right. People know they can pick up that phone and they're faced with, a smile whenever they walk in, and let's get started.
Yeah. And, you said something there that, Whitney, I find very interesting, and that is that those numbers are very high, but it's not as if there are communities where we don't hear numbers that high and say, oh, they're doing things better there. It's just people don't feel as comfortable, perhaps, reaching out for help. And here they know that Alice Paul House is there for them.
Yeah, I feel like Alice Paul's has been a staple in our community for almost 45 years now, and we are out talking about it not only in the community but in the school districts, and those drive that clientele to us that people call. We get calls that even from people that just say, I know somebody that needs your help. How can I help connect them to you? And our biggest draw is we want to talk to that person as much as they can call us. So getting that client or that victim or survivor to reach out, whether it is through social media or an email, or calling us, so that we can then bring them in. Because I think the other thing too that people would be surprised is that not everyone that comes into our office goes home to a safe place. They come and see us, but they go. Some of those individuals go back to that situation because they're just not at that point where they're ready to leave, and that's okay. We're there to work with them through those difficult times and help keep them safe.
Yeah. Kayla, tell me about how trauma-informed counseling works with Alice Paul House. How do people access it, and how do you make it work for them?
So, a couple different answers here. They can absolutely call in and request an appointment, but they can also just walk in. During business hours, that's whenever all of our direct service advocates are there. They can meet a friendly face as soon as they get there. But we also we have telecounseling available if they're not able to get there because of transportation or other things that are going on in their lives. But we work around them. So they tell us what they need. They tell us whenever they're available, and then our advocates make it work for them.
Are they typically referred to you by someone else, or is this a self-driven thing?
We always ask that our community partners, if they feel the need to refer an individual over to us, they do that. They can pick up the phone and call. They can reach out to our CEO, Audia. They talk all the time at meetings. But mostly it's the client themselves picking up the phone and saying, I might need some counseling or I might need some help.
Yeah.
And then we kind of go from there.
Yeah, I'm interested in the way that a program such as that develops, or an approach such as that develops, because I can see Alice Paul House saying, okay, this is something that, another way that we can attack this problem that might allow more people to be participants and allow them to get the services that they need. It seems to be something that Alice Paul House adopted this approach in order to meet a specific need that was identified.
I think too the other piece is that we know transportation is horrible in our county. That infrastructure is not the great, especially in the outlying areas. So the other nice thing that the direct service advocates are able to do is they're able to see their child clients in the school districts. So we're able to go out and meet with that child in their home school district in a safe, confidential space in the school, so those parents don't have to bring those children in the evenings to us and things. So we're really flexible on trying to meet the clients where they are to be able to provide the best service possible for them.
Yeah. Okay, so there was a second thing today.
I would say two more programs that we just wanted to highlight.
Okay.
They are both evidence-based programs that address the connection between trauma, victimization, and substance abuse, because we know those three things go hand in hand. So the first one that we'll talk about is Guiding Good Choices. It is a program, it's 5 weeks long typically. Right now, our direct service advocates are delivering this program in various recovery centers across the county, the Indiana County Jail, and some other different places. But this program, it focuses on children who have been removed from the home, either due to family conflict or substance abuse, and it teaches the parent how to rebuild those connections with their children, how to have the hard conversations about peer pressure or things that are going on in school. And then the hope is whenever the child is returned to the home, they have those tools in their belt to then keep that relationship building. We've seen great success with this program. Luckily, we're able to hear the feedback after the child is put back into the home. And a lot of our participants say, without this program, I wouldn't have felt comfortable to have those conversations with my child. So thank you. So that's the first one.
That's the first one. And the second one
The second one would be beyond trauma. So it's a little bit different. This one specifically focuses on past trauma, bringing it to the present victimization, and then where did the substance abuse kick in? Was it something that started in the past, or did it travel with you? And there's a book that goes along with it. It's kind of a journal for them, and it helps them identify unhealthy relationships that they've formed, both with other people or substances. And then it helps them use their critical thinking and logical skills to say, okay, I can now identify it. I can now target it. How am I going to change it? So, yeah.
Do people find themselves surprised that they've become a victim of domestic violence, domestic abuse, and therefore it makes it harder for them to come forward?
Yeah, I think we see that across the board with all the victimizations that we see, not just the domestic violence, a lot of even sexual assault or the other crime victims we serve. We hear oftentimes, I've never had to deal with law enforcement before. I've never been to the courthouse. How do I navigate this system? And that's what the direct service advocates are there to do. Not only are they providing them that trauma-informed advocacy and counseling, but they're also there to just be that support system to say, here's all the players in the game. This is how the court system works. This is why it's so kind of drawn out in the legal process. When we'll be with you kind of through all of those steps. So we definitely hear that often.
Yeah, and they're probably very awkward as well because abuse and violence are a betrayal of trust, and regaining that trust is very, very difficult.
Absolutely, especially if they've disclosed to somebody and the first person they've disclosed to them, they didn't believe them. So we see that too. Kids, adults who have said, I've told people before, you're the first person that believed me in this case. So that can be hard to work through as well.
Yeah. All right. So this is all great stuff for us to.
And that's just a little piece.
Just this is a tiny piece.
Well, that's why we have you back every month, because we need to get to the bottom of this. We need to continue to work on things that people find themselves stuck in areas that they never expected that they would be.
Right.
And so there's where Alice Paulhouse steps in. All right, wonderful. Folks want to get in touch with Alice Paulhouse. Maybe they have some problems of their own. Maybe they see some problems that are happening with others that are in their circle. What should they do?
Call us. So we have a 24-hour hotline number. The local number is 724-349-4444. Somebody will be there to answer the phone for you.
There you go. Just that simple.
Yep.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
Wish you the
thank
best
you.
of holiday seasons. And it is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. We went right up to the marker here. It's 2 away from 10 o'clock.